Well, good morning and welcome to the North American Bear Center's live broadcast. We know that the microphone works today, and we had to wait to come to you today, Tuesday, which is really neat, and we've got a little bit of sprinkling out here. But hi to everybody out there. We're going to have one of our volunteers come with me in just a few minutes. You can hear that we've got some action going on right now. But I just want to take a minute and say thanks to everybody out there that's watching. And, it's still a nice day. We need the rain up here pretty bad. It's been really dry, and we've had high fire danger, so we welcome the rain. It could have held off a little bit, but that's okay. It's just a sprinkle right now. But, all in all, through the whole COVID-19 thing, we've been lucky to have all the people that we know and then their extended families all staying healthy. We just ask everybody out there to remain healthy and keep smiling and have lots of patience with each other, because I've noticed and seen that patience can run thin. But here at the North American Bear Center, I got to tell you something. It's a up and down kind of ride. As you think, oh, we can open. We can't open. Oh, we can open. No, we can't. But our governor is supposed to be announcing, again, Wednesday or Thursday this week, what he's going to allow to open up again. We are considered a museum, attraction, zoo type deal, and we don't even really have a date yet that he gave us as far as when we can open. And I got pretty excited about it about a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago when he first came out, and I went out and put an email out saying, hey, we can open up, and I was all excited, and then only to find out that, well, we couldn't. So he's holding back, being careful, making sure that we're opening up at a time when, things will be safe. We know that we're going to have to open up the Bear Center with some guidance as far as, what percentage of people we can allow in. We've got all of our safety measures that we'll have in place to make sure that everybody's safe while they're here. We still haven't figured out a few areas because we don't know what our parameters are going to be able to set those up. So until we find out exact facts, we're hoping right now we'll be able to open up on a limited basis on June 5th, which would be really an exciting thing for us here, to be able to be here and see the Bears and see the action. But, right now I want to take a minute to thank the volunteers that have been coming here, and Spencer and Sharon, and taking great care of the Bears. And I got a fun one coming here right now. Judy Thone, she's going to take her mask off, which she has, so we'll hand the microphone back and forth. And we're going to social distance what's recommended 3 to 6 feet, so we'll probably get to. But we got Judy Thone here. And, Judy, I've been kind of just talking about thanking you guys for taking care of the Bears so good. And thank you, eyes out there. The eyes that are out there have been amazing helping us out, haven't they?
Well, thank you, Scott, for inviting me to chat a little bit. Hi, everybody in the little mist here. I tell you, these moderators and people that are not here, that are really social distancing from us, have really been a help, not just this year with Holly's little thing, but in previous years as well. We've asked them on occasion when we can't find a bear, you think, well, how can you lose a bear in 2.5 acres? Well, you can. And with the phenomenal camera equipment they've got to work with now, thanks to you, and, the Bear Center, we've got phenomenal cameras that can find these bears, and they're really a great help to us, especially when we get going in the summer, and I hope we can get going pretty soon.
Yes, very true. And, when we take a look at the eyes in the sky, I guess we'll call them eyes on the poles, because they're watching and they're seeing a lot of stuff. And the other night when you and I, Sharon, and my wife came here, what time was it, about 9:30 Ely time? About 9:30-ish. We came out here with the chainsaws, went over, cut the tree down. Holly did a fabulous job. But you know what the fabulous job was? You guys seeing it, recording the action, which was really cool. Although I was not totally impressed with her knocking the log on the fence. Her and I have to have a discussion on that, but she always wins. So we all know that she's way ahead of me on winning. In fact, I forgot about that. She got me again. She got all of us. A what?
Again.
And the best part of the whole thing is when we got here, we're thinking, okay, mosquitoes, We're going to have all these other issues. We didn't have any of the issues. Here's one of the guys from Low Impact that's working hard in the rain here, getting the pond all drained down. He's walking on by. Wave to the camera. Wave to the camera. There he is. These guys keep working even in the rain. But one of the neatest things that they caught, which besides Holly being neat, was we had a visitor here a couple weeks back in the enclosure that got over the fence, and they had the camera on that bear, correct?
Well, they actually did. I think that bear has been named the Bandit Bear because, you know, they've got to name everything, which is a good thing. And, and we got word of it, Sharon, and got word of it is like there's a bear, and, well, yeah, where? Well, in the enclosure. Well, it was actually by that North American Bear Center sign, kind of right there. And, well, Heidi, Sharon, and myself, we all got on site, and we actually went to the observation deck first because we wanted to assess the situation from the observation deck to figure out, you know, what are we going to do? Well, obviously the bears have phenomenal hearing, and he heard us, she heard us, and it was that bear climbed the fence, walked on top of the fence, over onto the food shed, and there was, to the left of the food shed, as you're looking at it, there was a pine tree there. Well, that bear just latched onto that pine tree and climbed right down. So, well, that pine tree wasn't long for the world. Scott came in and the good old chainsaw, you don't see it anymore, but it was a young bear, maybe a 2-year-old, we're guessing. Maybe a 2-year-old, not much more than that. But we would not have known that without our great support team.
Yeah, I remember the call that I got saying there's a bear in the enclosure, and I thought maybe there was some abuse somewhere of drinking or something, because I was like, well, yeah, there's bears in the enclosure. No, we got an extra bear in the enclosure. And I'm like, what do you mean an extra bear? Well, we got a bear in the walkway of the enclosure. It's a wild bear. And I said, you're kidding me. And then, of course, they captured such great video of it. And, boy, that bear definitely had a nice meal. A very nice meal. But thanks to all you out there that watch that stuff. It really does help us out. All we ask is that you tell the bears to do this stuff during normal hours. That would really help out, right? You know, you guys got to be able to tell them that, you know, to help us. But moving right along, you can hear the noise. You can hear what we got going on. We've got 2 broken off posts being fixed for our fence. One that when Holly knocked over the dead tree into the fencing, it snapped one of the posts off. So they're back there working on that, and they're putting a new post in. And then we got another one that's up just across from the cabin, which would be right across from Tasha's pen area, roughly, a little further up. Holly's. They're replacing a fence post there, too, that's busted off. We just want to make sure we're safe. And the other great news is that you guys all helped with is when the 2-year-old bear got in here, roughly 2-year-old bear got in here, we noticed that our electric fence is working, but it was barely putting out a trickle. Barely. And lo and behold, we found out that we had a problem with the ground rod. We fixed the ground rod, fixed a number of stuff along the fencing, and now we got probably 10 times the power we've ever had. In fact, I wouldn't want to touch it if I was a bear, nor me. I know that Maro and I had dang near, well, it gave me some real good jolts. But we also had Carolyn here that was testing it. I got allergies, just so everybody knows. But pine pollen has been flying. But another great thing was to find that out at the same time, and now we got fence power like we haven't had before. We got a real neat program coming up. And before I get into that, I want to finish talking. I should probably finish talking about what's going on here. They're draining the pond right now. We're going to drain it down. We're going to leave the sediment in it this year. And then we're going to attach the valves onto it. And then we got to let it fill up naturally. It's going to fill up by the rain. It's going to fill up by our cistern. We got a pump back here that takes groundwater out, and it's going to pump that into the pond. So it's going to take some time. Once it's filled, then we'll turn the falls on. It all depends on Mother Nature and what we've got in the ground for that pump back here. But we're hoping that, we can turn it on within the next week or two. We just can't bring water in right now and fill that pond. It gets very, very costly. And this is not a year to have those extra costs. Right, Judy? As far as going back to talking about the governor in the opening with that same deal, as soon as we find out and we know that we can open at a certain capacity, we'll let everybody know on our website and check on there constantly for updates because we never know what's going to change or when it's going to change. But, Judy, we got an exciting event starting today, right now. And what is that event?
Well, it's our annual half birthday party that's going to happen on June 14th, but it starts actually right now. Yep. Half birthday, and you say, well, what do you mean half birthday? Well, bears are born, most of them are born in January, and of course they sleep through their birthday, so we're going to have a party on June 14th at 10 o'clock. Well, we are going to have our annual piñatas, and you folks out there are going to determine which bear gets which piñata. How do they do that? Well, you got to donate $5 for every vote. So if you want Ted to get, for example, the watermelon, you're going to have to put your vote in at $5 a vote. And, of course, whichever bear gets the most votes for a particular item, that's what they get. You can vote until June 13th at noon. So that's about 2 weeks, a little bit more than 2 weeks. And all the proceeds go for bear food. So I'm not going to pay for anything else. It's for the bear care that we have here. And those of you that have been watching, they're getting grapes now. They're getting nuts, few sunflower seeds, cranberries, fruit. And we buy locally when we can. And so at the grocery store. So whether we're open or not, the bears need to eat. So that's why we've been here every day feeding them. So even though we're not open, the bear care goes on.
Yes, it does. And with the lack of having fundraisers that are normally huge supporters, we usually have the Hinckley event, which at times is at the Hinckley Grand Casino and at Mystic Lake Casino. They switch every other year. They had to cancel that this year due to the COVID. And then we also had to cancel the Lily Pad Picnic, which is a huge supporter of the North American Bear Center. And we thank both those folks and all the people that help out for volunteering in that area. But taking away those dollars really does affect the Bear Center. And plus, we're not getting any donations coming in the front door. We're not getting donations in a lot of areas or admissions at all. So we need all the help we can to support feeding our bears. And if you could do that, that would really be appreciated. We don't know what the environment's going to be like. Look at here. They've got the half birthday in plastic bags. They've got the piñatas. And this is, look at that nice strawberry that Spencer's holding. That is a nice strawberry. And we got Sharon with the star. Look at that, huh? Then we got Carolyn with the watermelon. And we got Mary with the ice cream cone. They all look pretty good. I don't know if I want to eat the star, though. But who's going to be the star of the show? Huh? Strawberry Fields forever? We all scream for ice cream? And what's the watermelon saying? The watermelon crawl? Okay, hold those up again. Wave to everybody. Okay. Boy, that looks scripted, don't it? But we need your help, Sharon. Come over here for a minute. Don't be going by here. Sharon, we're going to have you and Judy. We're going to talk about, you hold the very bottom, okay? We're going to have you talk about the half birthday.
What would you like to know about the half birthday? It's happening on... Okay, it's starting right now. I'm a little slow on this stuff. I haven't been keeping up because of my internet speed. So vote for your favorite bear and your favorite piñata. Yes, the star is a little bit smaller, but one crush and it'll be filled and eaten. So it doesn't matter the size. They love to get a hold of them and tear them apart. So vote for your favorite bear, and of course we know who'll probably get the strawberry, but I'm not saying, but we'll see. But thank you, folks, for all you're doing, and especially like Scott and Judy were talking about, you camera drivers catching everything, and it'd be nice if it was, like Scott said, during the day. It's kind of a panic to get in here just before dark and expect the bears to listen, but fortunately they did. So thank you all.
Well, Sharon, of course, is going to be here on the half birthday day. It's going to be a Sunday at 10 o'clock. So, and also on that day, we're going to have 3 winners of, when you put your name, your vote, every time you vote. So let's say I vote 5 times. I got 5 chances to win a beautiful mug, and there's going to be 3 winners of that mug. So you got to hang on for that, and we're going to feed the bears only one at a time, so everybody has an opportunity to see what's going on.
Yeah, the mug's going to be a black mug with a white outline on the bear. If you go on the website, you'll be able to see it. It's really a nice mug. And it's funny, I got a text talking about the mug, but she didn't know we were coming up to that point. But it is going to be a fun time, and, the mug ain't a lot, but it's still something that's pretty cool. And, again, go on our website at bear.org and take a look at that. It's starting to rain out a little harder, ain't it? Yeah, we do need it bad, so we'll enjoy this while we're out here. And it's a bummer that we don't have the pond ready to go because we could be filling it already. They're starting to fill it, but also a lot of that rain from the rain goes on the roof, and from the roof it drains into the pond too. So we do also do that. Is there anything else we should be covering that I'm forgetting? We're going to talk about the intern program. That's right, and then we want to talk about that. We're going to let Judy talk about our interns. And Judy, let's talk about that.
Well, we had to make some adjustments this year because of the COVID-19. We had 9 lined up, but 3 of them were from the UK. And for all those of you watching world events, they weren't going to be able to get here. So we unfortunately had to cancel those 3 out. But, again, we've made some promises to them for 2021 if they're still interested. So that wasn't a good thing, but it could turn into a good thing in 2021 for them. But we do have... we will have a grand total of 6. And I know all you folks out there like to know where they're coming from. Well, they're all U.S. students this time because of, with the COVID. They're from Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri. The one from Vermont goes to school in Vermont, but she's actually from Rhode Island. And Tennessee. So we've got I think a really good crop of interns. And, of course, you'll be hearing more about that later on. But so that's what the intern program is for this year. Thank you.
So it's good to hear that our intern program is going to go on. We got our housing secured. We got everything ready there. The last thing I want to mention and talk about is, one of those things that we really, all 3 of us and a number of people, a lot of volunteers, worked hard during the Give to the Max program, Give MN, last November, if you all recall that. And the response was unbelievable. I know that Jan Varnish, if you're listening out there, and Kathy, and every mayors, I can keep going and going and going. Who else am I forgetting? I mean, it was a huge group of people. Bouncy Bear, I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, and I'm sorry if I miss your name, but we worked, and all of us together, and you guys out there all helped out to get $30,000+. And I'll tell you what, that's a lot of money. And we actually exceeded our goal of, what was it, $35,000? And we were going to start our project this year, which was our new fencing and our enclosure work that we were going to do. And I say were because, unfortunately, fencing, the COVID, contractors, our snow that was here for a long time is preventing us from doing that at this time, and I don't have a date where we'd even be able to start yet. And it's all due to manufacturing of fencing and enclosure stuff. And it's just, it really depends on a lot with this virus situation that we've got going on. But I'm being told that our fencing and stuff like that and all of our measuring and everything we need done probably will not happen this year. I always want to stay optimistic and say it could, but I want to also let everybody know that every dime of that money, every penny, is earmarked for the bear enclosures and the fencing, and it goes nowhere. It doesn't go for operations, doesn't go for nothing. It stays earmarked in that account. So I want to reassure everybody that every dollar, every penny, every nickel that we get here, we make sure it goes to where it's supposed to. And when humanly possible, there are, things happen sometimes. But all your donations remain safe for that thing. They will not go for operations. I will let you know that the Bear Center was able to have some good financial years the last few years, so that's going to help us through this. And we're going to be okay. Ely, I don't know how Ely's going to be. I don't know how any small town's going to be. I don't think anybody's really got a forecast that would be accurate in that area. We see people up here, but we ain't seeing a lot of people out and about, are we? And therefore, I don't know what to say. I don't know what the thermometer is going to bring us as far as business goes. But whatever it is, we're going to weather the storm, and we're going to come out smiling at the other end and strong. Don't you guys agree? And the Bears, they're going to be Bear strong, right? And I know Dr. Lynn Rogers would want to say hi to everybody out there. I know that he has been working hard at the cabin on a number of different programs, and he's always working hard, enjoying the wildlife out there. And I'm going to just take just a second here. Have a tickle. But I got to tell you, I know that he'd want to say hi and thank everybody out there for the support that they're giving the North American Bear Center. Dr. Rogers, myself, Judy, Sharon, Heidi, Missy, Spencer, all the staff and volunteers, all say thank you to you guys out there. And there's so many volunteers out there, and pond chatters, moderators. Who am I missing? Fundraising teams. There's team after team. And the ones that we're not going to see this summer, we're going to miss you. We're going to miss having the fun out here. Last year we had the Lily Pad picnic, and it was out here at the Bear Center, and that was just a lot of fun. And we're not going to be able to see you guys. And that's where the bummer part comes in, is we're going to be missing all the people that come in here, and they're excited about all the new things we've done, and excited about the season opening up and all the good things that we've got going on here. The staff and a lot of people, volunteers, worked hard to get the Bear Center and do some changes this year over the winter months. And we're hoping to get our remote camera up and going here soon, and then we can take you around and show you some of those changes for those of you who ain't going to be able to visit this year, or those of you who can't visit because you live a long ways away. I know that there's plenty overseas that are watching right now, and they know what we're talking about. So we want to show them how we moved our grizzly display and redid our grizzly display. Judy McClure worked hard on that with Lynn, Dr. Lynn Rogers, and then we did numerous upgrades of the wood and moved all our TVs down so that everybody can watch those TVs. We've got Linda out there who's been working on videos and getting those ready. But just kind of, I think everybody would agree, we're kind of having an odd year. It's like a roller coaster ride. But we're coming out of it on the other side good. You all know that you either come to the end of the roller coaster ride going, whoa, what a ride, I want to get back on it, which I don't think this one we will, or let's go again, or I don't want to go on it at all. And I think now, I love rides, but I think I'm thinking, I don't want to go back on this ride, do you? No, We got all kinds of huge things closing, and I'm sure all you out there have the same thing going on. And just want to say, keep smiling, keep your chin up, and keep watching those bears for us. And anything you want to say?
Well, I'm sure, preempting, we might have another live broadcast when we have more information, and you make sure everybody knows that, besides bear.org, our gift shop is open.
Yep.
So besides the half, when you're on there, it supports us, and the staff here, they're on it. They get they ship the stuff right out. So, but yeah, shipping is a little slower because we all know why. But our gift shop is open. So, Sharon, here you go.
All right, I just want to say thank you to everyone, especially you folks that continually watch the Bears. And I know in the evening when I hear ping, then ping, 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 I know something's happening. So it always alerts me, and I immediately try to get my phone to go to the cameras. And so thank you all. And the cookbooks, order a cookbook. Order a cookbook, and that will help us immensely. And the mayors worked really hard, and their team that put this all together. And I just want to thank you all for doing the recipes, and grab a cookbook while we have them. Thank you all.
You know, it's kind of funny because the longer we stand here, I don't know, sometimes I feel like my brain is just in a fog. And the cookbook is a huge thing we should have talked about. That cookbook crew that made that cookbook and all the great recipes in there, I got to remember to bring one of those home because there's some really good recipes in there. I was really interested in some of those appetizers. Well, actually everything in there. Of course, I'm hungry too. But the cookbook is a huge thing. Man, order that cookbook. It's really a good cookbook. And, again, that supports the North American Bear Center. The web store supports the North American Bear Center big time. And, we can't say enough about support. And we've got a lot of support out there, don't we? Yes, thank you, as Sharon just said. And besides that, we talked about watching for updates, which is another important thing. Keep watching updates, and we will come on live once we're able to open and let you know what's going on. Just watch for dates on the web and on Facebook and other places. We go to a lot of social media places, too. I know there's something I'm missing, and I can feel it. And what is it? Darn. Yeah, we're continuing feeding at 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock, and we're going to continue. We don't have any live enrichment programs planned. Judy and I talked about it today, so we don't have any of those planned right at this time. We want to make sure to do some stuff to have people interact. It's just one of those things where we don't know what we don't know right now. So a lot of it's trial and error. We are trying to get our bears down here more to feed them out front and the cameras here. So you got better visuals of that area also. But, there's still something else. You just talked about that. We talked about, and I'm sorry this is an impromptu type deal. We talked about our cookbook. We talked about the half birthday. If there's anything else out there that anybody can think of, feel free to text Sharon or Judy. We'll stand here for just a second while I'm trying to think what it is. But I know that our staff, one of the things I did want to bring up, and I know what it was. All of a sudden I just had this thought. If you're ordering from the web store and you happen to see that your charge card or check or your check that you sent to us for a donation has not went through the bank yet, I just want to tell you why that is. Our Wells Fargo Bank in Ely is closed. And it is closed, so we haven't been able to deposit. In Virginia, Minnesota is where we got to go to deposit, and they got to drive through a window down there that is very busy. So we do have those checks and that stuff in a safe place. They will be deposited this week, but we just wanted to give you at least a heads up on what's going on there. Could be next week, too. We'll see what happens. But we're waiting for our bank to open up, or I'm going to head down to Virginia. So if you see that your check hasn't cleared yet, it doesn't mean you haven't gotten your order shipped. And your order, again, the ordering time for UPS and FedEx and them is slow up here right now. And I'm sure you're all experiencing that through Amazon or eBay or wherever you're ordering. It's really slow because they only got so many employees still to this day. But with that, we all say thank you, and we'll see you next time, and keep smiling and have a great day. Thank you, guys. Bye now.